Good evening, everyone. This is Maurice from the Triple M Model Railroad. As you can see in front of you, I actually have a UP SD70M with the flared radiator in pieces right now. And the reason why it's in pieces is because I'm actually installing lights. Ooh, real fun stuff. Yeah, so basically this is actually engine 484, and this particular engine was one of the engines. There was another engine, I believe it was 1996, which is the Southern Pacific Heritage, and there was another SD70M that was non-flared radiator, which was actually numbered 4014. And I got this one, and I actually have two more on order, well, of course, different road numbers, of the flared radiator. And I'm going to get all four of these. Actually, Athearn came out with four versions of it, or four road numbers, more or less. And I can't wait to set this up. So this one is basically an experiment to see how these lights work, how well they, the quality and how well they work. I mean, I've seen them in person, and they look great. So depending on how well they wired, if they work great out the box, then that's super. I don't have to tear anything down. But the way I wired it right now is only temporary until I test each one of these. So basically, these are the Monster LEDs by Big Al Mayo, and I met the brother at the Amherst Train Show this year, and it was pretty nice, to meet him. And I think I bought like 3 kits. I already had 2 already from a previous year. So here's the cab. Here's inside of the cab interior, or more or less the cover of the actual cab, and I have the headlights installed, and I also have the interior lights, and the interior lights are prototypically accurate from where they're positioned. And I was kind of debating on doing this. I wasn't too sure whether to do this or not, but I said, what the hell, try to add a little jazz to it. So this was kind of a pain in the butt to do, but you live and learn. So that has to be tested. As you can see here, if the camera will actually focus and zoom, I actually drill holes in the frame to put in the lights for the trucks. And they also temporarily taped in place until I try to figure out how to glue these things. That's not going to be easy. Glue these things in and position the wiring and stuff. I also have to label the wiring too, so I know what wire is what. And I've done the ditch lights. I should have took them out of the box. I didn't do that. They're in the box. I already wired the ditch lights. Hopefully they come out good. One of the lenses, or not the lens, but one of the LEDs was a little concocted in the bezel. So I hope that doesn't give too much of a problem when it comes to the lights. I may have to try to redo it. That's going to be a bit tricky, but well, moving on along, these are the rear lights on here. Move my big old thumb out of the way. I actually have these installed, but they're not glued down. This one I didn't glue down just yet. Eventually I will, once I test these lights out. And here, this is relatively finished, somewhat. Basically, everything is all wired up. It has sound. It sounds good. Um, there may be some other changes coming down, depending what ESU does. For one thing, they're coming out with a. Right now, as you can see, this is a Select Direct, and supposedly, from what I heard, or from what Matt was saying, from what I talked to him about a couple of weeks ago, is that they're going to come out with the version 4s for this type of platform. And the connection that's on here is actually called the Next 18. It has a Next 18 interface um, that connects to the daughter board. So that should be pretty nice. That's gonna be pretty darn good, and I'm pretty excited about that. I may add another speaker. I haven't decided yet. I have an ESU, one of those small phone speakers that comes in a kit, small little kit. I actually have. I'm going to actually install it on here too. I don't know where. I'm thinking about up front here, but if I'm going to I'm thinking about putting a one of those power packs on this, because the directs and probably most likely the version 4s, they kind of, if you don't have perfectly clean track, they kind of stutter. They kind of act like tsunamis a little bit when it comes to connect, um, um, a nice clean current going to the decoder. Um, yeah, that's the only pitfall with these selects directs. So I don't know if the version 4 is going to be different. That's why I want to put the power pack. There's two versions of the power pack that they have. I haven't seen. There's one small one. There's a large one, and all I really need is a small one for now. I think that will do fine. But yeah, this is coming along pretty good. Going along pretty. I may weather the wheels a little bit. Not the trucks, but the actual wheels themselves. I bought a kit from AK, and like a rust kit. So I want to see how I want to dab into a little of the rusting and weathering a little bit. I'm not going to weather the body though. I mean, it is tempting, but I mean, I doubt they're going to have this engine all dirty up. I mean, they may reuse it again once the big boy comes into service. But other than that, I think that's about it. One of my announcements is that I'm going to actually make or create a better presentation when it comes to the models actually running. Um, that is in the works. I'm actually in the planning stage of it and getting all the information on how to do this. So I'm going to actually make what would you call a shelf layout? And that's going to be pretty interesting. So that's going to be coming down the pike. And I may do a video on how to actually step by step on how to do this. So that's going to be pretty interesting, to say the least. So better presentation. That's what I promise. Better presentation. And I even thinking about even building a large engine facility. And that's another thing I'm thinking about doing. And that's going to be on a large board. Don't ask me where I'm going to put it. I may put it on top of my head. I already have no room. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this shelf layout type of deal. But I always find a way. So that's about it in my rambling. Hope this was kind of helpful. I mean, this is just a short video on what I'm currently doing. Um, the other models are going to most likely do the same thing when they come. also. So I got a lot of Athearns. Athearn's made a lot of money through the past few number of years I've been into this hobby. So I have a lot of Athearns to relight and maybe even change the coders out. I still got some Athearns that got tsunamis. I'm debating on my DDA40s. I'm thinking about just ripping out those tsunamis and putting ESUs. So let me know what you think. Again, this is Maurice from Triple N. Have a good evening and take care.